The only thing that I would try to work on is have a more forceful start of your sentences, and not necessarily loud, but just clearer. Because it seemed like at the end of your sentences were real good, and then when you started a sentence, it kind of, you like started low and then worked up to the end of the sentence. So try to keep the beginning of the sentence at the same emotional level and positive and confident. Because maybe you're not quite sure what your next sentence is going to be, so that's why it starts kind of short. I'm not sure. And like I just said, your honesty in telling us how you felt was my favorite part of the speech, and you really inspired me to just knowing that if you want something, you just need to go for it, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Very good.
Thanks a lot, Ashley.
Next we'll have John evaluating Maggie's speech.
Thank you very much for volunteering today, Maggie. Did you have the speech planned at all? No? Okay, great. I think I noticed that you had notes, but I thought it was a good use of notes. You just had them sitting on the table, and I didn't notice any sort of like you weren't staring at them. You glanced down once or twice, but it wasn't distracting from your speech class. So as far as using those, I think it was completely appropriate for kind of the spur of the moment speech. It wasn't distracting to your speech at all. As far as like your overall stage presence as well, I think you did a very good job. You had appropriate hand gestures, and the one in particular when you're saying you're sending past the flying colors, and you kind of did something like this. It just kind of like shows like the whole gamut that he had to go through. So it was a good use of hand gestures there. I didn't notice anything like you weren't having hands behind your back or clutched the whole time. It was the appropriate addition to the speech. I noticed a couple times in the speech, especially in the opening, I think you weren't exactly sure how to give us a real strong opening. So I noticed a little more tentative, and then as maybe about a minute or so into the speech, you kind of picked up speed and got that comfort back, and you just kind of went with it from there. So I think that just maybe part of the speaking spur of the moment was, because it's one of those things when you're writing a speech, you want to have that nice, strong opening to get everyone's attention. So, but say for your next speech, you can concentrate on that. I thought as far as your use of words goes, I thought it was very good for this speech topic, or for this manual. You were talking about we went to see like where the cadets were eating and sleeping. You didn't just say we went and visited the campus. You actually gave us specific examples and of the push-ups and pull-ups and the examples of the tests you had to do. That you gave the specific names of the representatives that he spoke to. I thought that was really good. Kind of, rather than just saying he talked to some dignitaries. And to give the names, it kind of gets a visual in the listener's mind, so that really adds to the story and kind of gets us engaged there. So that was really good use as far as the words go. So all in all, I think it was a very good speech, and thanks again for volunteering at the last minute.
Great. My challenge would be to rewrite the speech and give it properly.
Next, let's have our timer come up and give his timer report. Maybe you could explain a little bit that to our guest as well.
Sure. As timer, my job is to time the speeches as they happen. For the speeches today, I use the 5 to 7 minute timing scheme. So 5 minutes, the green card shows that you've reached the time for the sort of minimum time of your speech requirement. And then at 6 minutes, you got the yellow card saying that you've gone past the minimum and we're getting close to the maximum. And then the red card just went up at 7 minutes saying that you've completed the full 7-minute side of the bracket for giving the speech. And then also throughout, and table topics are 1, 1:30, and 2 minutes. And for the times that I recorded for the day, initially John did the introduction of the meeting for about 3 minutes. Part of that was Maggie talking about the Dukes. Lori as Toastmaster and Locator together, about 3 minutes or so, minute and a half for each. Maggie, word of the day, 22 seconds. One-on speech, 12 minutes, 56 seconds. Maggie speech, 8 minutes, 13 seconds. Gary, about a minute, as the table topics master introducing the topics. Chris's table topic, a minute 24. JP, a minute 6. Jason, about 15 seconds or so in between each person. And evaluator 1 was Arlene for 2 minutes 32 seconds, and then John, 2 minutes 34 seconds.
Thank you very much. And Jim, would you please give the counter report?
Well, counter, I'm looking for ahs, ums, double clutches, inappropriate fillers, and things that people may use. Lori did really well. I didn't catch anything, so you were really good. Maggie, on your word of the day, you were good. Wanzan, you had just a couple of double clutches, and then there was a couple of long pauses that, just a couple, where I thought, was the sentence done and did you forget what was next, or did you continue on? And I think it had to do with what Arlene said, that maybe you just kind of started low again, and I think you kind of ended and then restarted. It was kind of like the same thing. Maggie, you had a couple of double clutches, and obviously unprepared, you're going to be expected to have some. You had a couple of ahs and some really soft ahs. I mean, they're just like they're almost part of your the way you talk. That's almost how I took it, as like, this is the way I can, it just flowed. So Gary, you were really good. Chris, you just had one ah. JP, one ah. Jason, you're pretty good. Arlene, you had a couple of ums. And John, you had one ah. Tom, you were good. So, good job.
As the general evaluator, my role is to introduce the evaluation team and then to provide some overall feedback on the meeting. And so what comes to mind is I think this was a very well-run meeting. It flowed well. There wasn't any some nabulating going on that I noticed during the meeting. The room was set up. We were ready to go. Tom, you've just done a phenomenal job having everything, having it laid out nicely, and making people feel welcome coming in. So thank you for taking us to the next level with that as a group. It's nice to have a different room. I remember John mentioning that a long time ago. I always thought, well, we want, like the best room, but that's not our experience. That's not reality. We all have different opportunities to speak in different places, so it is good to have that variety. And so this is a slightly different room. It's got a different feel, and it's good for us to have that experience as well. John, you started the camera before the meeting even started, and I didn't look at the clock. I think we started on time, but you captured the whole meeting, so that's good. Sometimes that gets started late. All the roles were filled, and we made adjustments as is needed, so thank you for your leadership in that, the last minute changes. You left plenty of time for notes for everybody to write a lot, so that was good. And Maggie, you really stepped up to the plate and just took a risk and did that. And so thank you for leading us in that. That's what we want to see. We let's not worry about delivering the best perfect speech that we practiced for 6 months. Let's just get up there and do it. I'm sure you learned a lot just by having to do that. And you could do that same speech next week and prepare a lot, and it would probably look different, but it was a great speech for what it was. So kudos to you for doing that. I hope we can see more of that as a group. Those are my thoughts, and I'll turn it back over to Lori.
Thank you, Jason. Very encouraging. Okay, we just have a few minutes left. JP, could you review 2 of the table topics that we had for the voting
I think
or meeting minutes?
Oh, meeting minutes.
Yeah. Or for meeting minutes? Oh, I can do that. I might have an old form. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I can review them, and then we'll have a heads down vote for the best table topic. You can do that, so, okay. Let's see, so we had, Chris talking about college football and JP talking about school and his daughter going off to, college. So heads down. Can I see all the votes for Chris? Okay, hands down, thank you. And could I see all the hands for JP? Okay, hands down, thank you. Okay, heads up. Okay. The winner of table topics is JP. Wonderful, thanks. I will turn the meeting back to John. Discuss that. Thanks, John.
One other comment that I had before we close up the meeting, I thought Lori did a really good job as far as leading us in the applause and then the handoff by the stage as well. So I think that was mentioned last time, just when the Toastmaster is here, you can stand here and wait for the person to help them come to you and hand the stage off. So I think you did a very good job. So, say it once again, just the reminder, Monday, 5 o'clock, speech contest, be there. It's gonna be awesome. There will be food. Forgot to mention that. So we do have, we always have room for more volunteers as far as helping to set up the food, things like that, escorts and whatnot. So, if there's anything else that anyone else has, if not, we'll go ahead and wrap up while we're a minute late today. So everyone have a great week.
There you are, sir.
Thanks, Jane.
Yeah, thanks.
Sorry.